Pointing to the light. I grew up in the countryside. There were no streetlights, so when it got dark, it got really dark. Something that is now a bit hard to imagine living as I do in the city with streetlights everywhere. But that dark wasn't really dark. There would always be some light from the night sky, the moon sometimes shining bright enough to cast shadows, and the occasional car coming over the hills a few miles away would briefly light you up like a spotlight. But it was, and is, amazing how quickly our eyes will adapt to the smallest amount of light. Have you ever visited any of the caves in Castleton? If you have, it is likely that at some point the guide will turn all the lights out, and then you do truly experience dark. Eyes open or closed makes no difference. It can feel quite scary. You've got no sense of direction. You don't want to move. And then they will turn on one small light, maybe even just light a candle. But you feel such relief, you can see again, and it becomes a very bright and welcome light. A few years ago, at our church carol service, we turned out all the lights in the church to listen to the opening words of John's Gospel. There was something special about hearing those words in the dark, and at the end, a single candle was lit. And then folk came forward, carrying a candle, lighting it from that single source, and taking it back out into the congregation. So that's what this week is all about, being the light. Maybe we are like the candle flame, bringing hope, reassurance, comfort to those in need. Or maybe we're like the moon, reflecting back the light of the sun, sometimes so much that shadows can be cast, but more often just enough to see by. We are called to be witnesses by our words and our actions to the light of the world, Jesus. Advent God, shine from us today. Amen.